Hey guys, April pickups. There's a lot of shit, let's get on with it. Now first up on April 3rd, it was Germany time. But before that, I went to see a guy that had some PS2 titles that I had to look at. He had posted a preview picture on Facebook with 30 or so games, and he said there was a shit ton more. So yeah, I went there to have a little look-see, and goddamn, he had over 150 games. And he wanted $1.50 each on him. So I picked out 30 or so, and then he was like, well, if you just want to take all of it, you can have it for about $73. And already at that point, with the 30 games I picked out, I was already over halfway there. So I was like, fuck it, let me just buy everything. So I have a lot of shit to show you here. Now see, in the past, when I've just picked up a big bunch of stuff, I've just skimmed through everything. But this time I'm gonna show you everything as fast as I can though. The reason why I did that in the past is to save myself some editing. But this time I'm like, well, that's future me's problem. Let's just get on with it. Now first off, I'm just gonna start off with a few non-PS2 titles that he had. A single Wii title, Hot Wheels Battle Force 5. And then some PS1 titles here. Actual Ice Hockey 2, without the front inlay, Civilization 2, Euro 2000, and Tomb Raider, The Last Revelation. And then some quite incomplete stuff here too, like platinum copy of Destruction Derby 2, but in the Evo Space Adventures case, and there's a hair on it. Great. And a French copy of Tomb Raider 3 in the Duke Nukem Time to Kill case. Yeah, I don't know. As I said, I got everything he had for $73, so that was included. And then the only game in that lot that didn't have its disc, The Operative. No One Lives Forever. As you see, no disc. But I believe that a complete one is also in here somewhere. So, alright. And then the case here for Master Rally and the manual for Master Rally. But the game in here is Viet Cong Purple Haze. But other than that, things fit. So, good times. So I'm just gonna do this stack by stack as fast as possible. Whether or not the games have their manual, I'm not really going to say, but most of them do. So I'm just gonna breeze through this as fast as I can, as I said. 18-wheeler, American Pro Trucker, 3 copies of Bakugan Battle Brawlers, Batman Begins, platinum copy of Battlefield 2, Modern Combat, Biker Mice from Mars, platinum copy of Black, this one's pretty cool, Broken Sword, The Sleeping Dragon, Brothers in Arms, Road to Hill 30, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Chaos Bleeds, Burnout 2, Point of Impact, a platinum copy of Burnout 2, 2 platinum copies of Burnout 3 Takedown, Burnout Dominator, Burnout Revenge, Boss Junior Jungle Party, Collector's Edition of Call of Duty 2, big red one, pretty cool, platinum copy of Call of Duty Finest Hour, platinum copy of Conflict Desert Storm, Conflict Desert Storm 2, Constantine the video game, Crazy Frog Racer 2, platinum copy of Dragon Ball Z, Budokai Tenkaichi, Driver Parallel Lines, iToy Play 3, F1 Championship Season 2000, and I believe, yeah, this manual has gotten so much water damage. Listen to this. Yeah, it's not gonna open anytime soon. That's funny. German copy of The Fast and the Furious, platinum copy of FIFA 06, and that was the first stack. Alright, platinum copy of FIFA 07, kinda beat up bugs. Platinum copy of Final Fantasy X, Ford Racing 3, Ford Street Racing, Formula 1 04, platinum copy. Freedom Fighters, 2 copies of Garfield 2, The Getaway, 2 copies of The Getaway Black Monday, Gladius, platinum copy of God of War, The Godfather, 3 platinum copies of Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec, 2 copies of Gran Turismo 4, Gran Turismo 4 Prologue, without the bonus DVD, sadly, Grand Theft Auto 3, 3 copies of Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories, platinum copy of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock, Guitar Hero Aerosmith, with this tour book in here, which is pretty cool, I guess, Guitar Hero Greatest Hits, Guitar Hero World Tour, High School Musical, Sing It, that was the second stack. Alright. Platinum copy of Hitman 2, Hitman Contracts, James Bond 007 in Agent Under Fire, James Bond 007 Nightfire, and 2 platinum copies of Nightfire, Juice 2, Hot Import Nights, Killzone, Knockout Kings 2002, Legends of Wrestling 2, Lego Batman, the video game, 3 platinum copies of Lego Star Wars, the video game, Mafia, Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX 2, The Matrix, Path of Neo, 2 platinum copies of Max Payne, Medal of Honor, European Assault, 2 copies of Medal of Honor Frontline, Medal of Honor Rising Sun, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, Monster Trucks Extreme Arena Edition, The Mummy Returns, My Horse and Me 2, which actually is quite uncommon, quite valuable actually, so that's kind of funny, right? Need for Speed Carbon, 2 copies of Need for Speed Most Wanted. I believe there's more of these in the next deck, but that was the first deck. Alright, another Need for Speed Most Wanted, and then 3 platinum copies of Need for Speed Most Wanted. Yay! Platinum copy of Need for Speed Pro Street, Need for Speed Undercover, Need for Speed Underground, 2 copies of Need for Speed Underground 2, 2 platinum copies of Need for Speed Underground 2. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all these duplicates here, but I don't know. It just seems stupid not to buy everything for that price, you know? New York Race, Next Generation Tennis, NFL Street 3, NHL 2005, here it is. The Operative, No One Lives Forever. PDC World Championship Darts. Pirates of the Caribbean. The Legend of Jack Sparrow. Play It Chess Challenger. Platinum copy of Prince of Persia. The Sands of Time. Pro Evolution Soccer 3. Platinum copy of Ratchet & Clank 2. Going Commando. 2 platinum copies of Ratchet & Clank 3. Platinum copy of Red Faction. Danish copy of The Lord of the Rings. Return of the King, Robots, Rock Band, Shadow the Hedgehog, yay, and Shark Tale. And that was that stack. Alright, last big stack. Shucks, Rally Reinvented, platinum copy of SOCOM 2, US Navy SEALs, SOCOM 3, US Navy SEALs, pretty cool here, Soldier of Fortune Gold Edition, Soul Calibur 2, Splashdown, SSX, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and then 4 platinum copy of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Strawberry Shortcake, The Sweet Dreams Game, Thomas and Friends, A Day at the Races, 2 platinum copies of Time Splitters, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, Splinter Cell Chaos Fury, Tony Hawk's Proving Ground, platinum copy of Tony Hawk's Underground, True Crime New York City, 2 copies of True Crime Streets of LA, UEFA Champions League 2006-2007, 2 copies of Underworld The Eternal War, The Herbs Sims in the City, German copy of Wild Wild Racing, Winter Sports, and World Rally Championship. And then there's like 5 games left in a little stack down there. Platinum copy of World Rally Championship, World Wrestling Championship, you saw this in the last Pickups video, WRC 2 Extreme, platinum copy of WRC 3, and 13 or XIII, whatever. And that was all of those games. That was a lot of games for 73 bucks. And I also thought, well, if I buy all of this shit from him, well, maybe in the future he'll think of me. And he said he was going to contact me whenever he gets more stuff. He actually gets this from a store, like they're overstock or something. It's kind of weird. It's like an employee at the store just takes it home when they don't want it in the store anymore, and then when he doesn't want it anymore, the guy I bought this stuff from gets it. So, you know, but he said that soon he would get some Xbox 360 stuff, so he would contact me whenever that happens. So stay tuned for that. So after visiting him, it was on my way to Germany. But some stuff on the way first. At a junkyard store where I always get some good deals because of the employee there, I found 4 PS1 titles. It doesn't happen that often anymore, sadly. First up, platinum copy of Cool Borders 4, Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX, Formula 1 98, and Hugo. And for these I paid about 75 cents each. Good deal. And after that it was another junkyard store like kind of thing where I picked up 3 PS2 titles for $1.50 each. Alone in the Dark, Soul Calibur 2, and Vampire Knight. Then at a thrift store I picked up 2 DS titles for 75 cents each. I don't know why I picked this up. Strawberry Shortcake, Strawberry Land Games, and Nintendogs, Labrador and Friends. It was 75 cents each, you know. But then after that at a thrift store down in Germany, for the first time in a while, I picked something up. Mostly to show them that when they price things properly, people will buy them. Because this store is usually very expensive with like old PC games. Like sometimes 10 or more euros a piece. That's insane. I got these for between €0.50 and €2 a piece. So that's pretty cool. And also some of these are like exclusive
exclusively German games. So I just think that's funny to have like older games. Yeah, not that new. So let's take a look at them. Ausschwung Ost. Yeah, I don't know. Couldn't tell you what it's about. But it's an old game from '93. So had to have that. A sealed copy of Civilization 2. A re-release, but still kind of cool that it's sealed. Another exclusively German one here. Das Amt. So weird. This is from '95. I don't know. The fact that they are exclusive kind of tickles my fancy, you know. Another exclusively German one here. Der Planer 2, I guess. Or Der Planer 2. Yeah. And then a sealed one. The only one that I paid €2 for. But it was sealed, you know. Oldtimer. Erlebte Geschichte Teil 2. I don't know. Apparently this got an international release later on, but you know, still, this is actually pretty cool. SimCity, white label re-release, but still, cool to have the first SimCity. And the last one, Sim Isle. Oh, and my OCD is acting up. Look at this. Right side up. No. Just gonna fix that real quick. Much better. So yeah, they were all €1 except the one that was 2, and then there was one that were 50 cents. I don't remember which one. Oh yeah, that planner. So I hope that shows them that when they price things at a reasonable price point, I'll at least buy some stuff, you know. And they're pretty cool, some of them. I actually think one of them is on floppy disks. I think this one is. So that's pretty cool. Right? And you know, I love me some big box PC games. Then on April 8th, it was time to go to some flea markets. Didn't pick up a lot of stuff that day, but still a little bit. At the first flea market, there was a vendor that had some PS2 and PS1 titles. And I picked up one PS2 title and 2 PS1 titles. The PS2 title is Echo the Dolphin, Defender of the Future. And the 2 PS1 titles here, Three Lions, which is some soccer game. The official England team game, and Tarzan. And for these 3 I paid about the equivalent of $6.60 about there. Pretty cool. Then at the next flea market I only picked up one game, and that was Ninja Gaiden Sigma for the PS3, and that was $1.50. Then at a junkyard store on the way home I picked up 3 PS2 titles. This store's gotten ridiculously expensive with video games, but for some reason I got these 3 for a decent price. About $3 and 60 something cents for all 3 of them. So that's decent. Gran Turismo 4 Prologue. And why did I pick this up again when it was in that big lot? Because this one actually has the bonus DVD. Micro Machines. And then this one just because it's an American copy. A greatest hits copy of Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. I don't know, as I said before, whenever I find American stuff, I kinda just have to buy it if it's reasonably priced, you know? Because I think it's funny that it finds its way here. Then on the 17th, it was time for a big asshole flea market. And I did pick up a little bit of stuff here actually. The first thing I picked up for about $3 was a complete box Game Boy Advance game here. It's a dual game, or a double game as it says, with Cartoon Network Block Party and Cartoon Network Speedway. Pretty cool to find a complete box Game Boy Advance game. It doesn't happen that often. And then the other thing I picked up at that whole flea market at another vendor, a PSP. A PSP with its charger of course. And these GameStop carrying cases for games. And no games in here though. But that's not to say that there weren't any games. So the games are 2 copies of Ben 10 Alien Force, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Crash Mind Over Mutant, Driver 76, FIFA 07, Platinum copy of FIFA 09, Platinum copy of Grand Theft Auto, Vice City Stories, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Lego Batman the video game, 2 copies of that, German copy of Lego Harry Potter, years 1 through 4, but the game is multilingual, so it's okay. Lego Indiana Jones, The Original Adventures, Prince of Persia Revelations, PSP Essentials copy of Ratchet & Clank, Size Matters, Resistance Retribution, Ridge Racer, German Platinum copy of SOCOM, US Navy SEALs, Fireteam Bravo 2, Spider-Man 3, Siphon Filter, Logan's Shadow, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas, and that was the games. There were also 3 movies. Chain Reaction with Keanu Reeves and Morgan Freeman, Garfield the movie, and Turtle in Trouble, which is actually a Danish movie. I don't know why it has an English title here. The actual UMD actually has the Danish title. I don't know why. And then there were what looked to be Need for Speed Pro Street, but in here is F1 Grand Prix. You can probably not see that. So, yeah, whatever. I actually think I have a loose Need for Speed Pro Street somewhere, so it's all cool. And then a single PS2 title from that vendor as well. SWAT Siege. And why did I buy this?
Phoenix Games, gotta have it. And for that PSP, the games and the single PS2 title, I paid a little bit under $40. So pretty decent deal for sure. But after that whole flea market, I went to make a deal with somebody I found on Facebook. She just had a bunch of games and all she wanted was like a bag of candy for it. So a bag of candy that cost me a little bit over $4, about $4.50. I got a stack of games and some SingStar microphones. Yay! But as you see, for about $4.50, it is a pretty decent stack of games. First up, some PS2 titles: Buzz Jr., Monster Rumble, Disney Sing It, iToy Play, Astro Zoo, German copy of FIFA Football 2004, Hannah Montana Spotlight World Tour, German copy of Knockout Kings 2001, German copy of NBA Live 2005, Platinum copy of The Sims Busting Out, and the game that is the reason why I actually wanted this, Street Warrior. And why? Well, look in the corner and you'll know. And it looks... Oh, that's the microphone. And it looks so bad. It really does. Oh yeah. And a German copy of World Rally Championship. But also some PS3 titles. Nothing too special. Only one of the games in here are, good. FIFA 08. FIFA 10, UEFA Euro 2008, soccer games, and then what appears to be FIFA 08, but the actual disc is FIFA 09. Fantastic. And the one good PS3 title, Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. So decent stack of stuff for like $4.50. For sure. And then her kids got to munch on some candy, I guess. And then I went to do a trade, which is a first for this show, I think. I don't know that many collectors, not that many that lives near me anyway. And this wasn't a collector either, so it was just like a person that had some PS1 titles up for sale on Facebook. And then she had another post searching for some specific games. So I was like, well, let's make a trade. And that's what we did. First up, a little bit of PS2 stuff here. I just got everything she had that she didn't want for the games that I gave her. I think it was like Rayman on the PS1, Medal of Honor on the PS1, a couple of Crash Bandicoot games on PS2, something like that, and the Mickey Mouse game on PS1, Wild Adventures or whatever. So pretty decent trade here. First the PS2 titles here: Total Club Manager 2004, without a manual, whatever. The Shadow of Sorrow and Age of Empires 2, The Age of Kings. Pretty cool titles, And then the PS1 stuff: Big Bass Fishing, Platinum copy of Die Hard Trilogy, Fear Effect 2, Retro Helix, and the best one in here, for sure, Platinum copy of Final Fantasy 9, without a manual sadly. Also without a manual, Formula 1 2000, also without a manual, Gran Turismo 2, yet another one without a manual, Micro Machines V3, Motocross Mania 2, also without a manual, NASCAR 99, without anything, Toga Touring Car Championship, only the disc and case, and Vanishing Point, and a loose disc 2 of Command & Conquer Red Alert, Retaliation. So pretty decent trade if you ask me. She also has a boxed PS1 console that I'm gonna try to get later. Yeah. But the last thing I did on that day was go back to the guy where I bought all of those PS2 titles, because he had contacted me and said that he's gotten some new stuff in. But this time I didn't buy everything he had, because his prices on Xbox 360 titles and Wii titles and such were quite high, so I just picked out a little stack of stuff I wanted. And there's some pretty good stuff in here actually. See, this was just a throw-in. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare for the PC. I don't know, he just gave that to me, so whatever. The only Xbox 360 title I actually bought, even though it was mainly Xbox 360 titles, was a Classics copy of Dead Rising. But some original Xbox titles here: Blinks, The Time Sweeper, Turok Evolution, and Jet Set Radio Future. Pretty cool. Some pretty cool stuff here actually. And then I picked up 2 Wii games too: Super Monkey Ball, Banana Blitz, and Wario Land, The Shake Dimension. And then the PS2 titles I bought, 3 of them. I'm gonna save the very best one for very last. But first up, Avatar, The Legend of Aang, maybe, Into the Inferno, German copy of Damon's Summoner, but it's English, so it's cool. And then a game that I'm so happy to add to my collection, I can't even describe it: Project 03, The Tormented. And for you Americans out there, this is Fatal Frame 3. So cool to find this and add this to my collection. Now I just need the second one. Yeah, And for this stack here, I paid about $17.50. Really freaking sweet deal, considering that Project Zero is worth maybe double that. So yeah. it. So fucking excited to add that to my collection and eventually play it. Love me some survival horror. Then on the 20th, I went to the local junkyard store where I found a single Game Boy game, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, because we are in Europe, Fall of the Foot Clan. And for that I paid the equivalent of 88 cents. Fantastic. Then on the 22nd, I went to some thrift stores to do some game hunting, but I didn't find anything all day. The last thrift store I went to, I found one that I picked up for $1.50, a PC game with the Pink Panther. I don't remember what this is called in English. Played it a lot as a kid, and the copy that I already have is kind of beat up, so I picked that up. Then on the 23rd, I went to some flea markets, and I didn't find anything at all, really. I picked up one PC title, and the place where I picked up this PC title here was like at a garage sale, whatever, where another collector in front of my eyes just bought a Game Boy Color with a bunch of games. Kinda sad, but I picked up this single PC title here for $1.50. Star Wars Rebel Assault 2. I don't know, I wanted it, you know. Then the 25th was a pretty damn good day, actually. Went game hunting somewhere where I usually don't go that often, so pretty cool to get out and see some other stuff than I usually do, you know. But first up, at a local store, thrift store kind of thing, picked up a single PC game for 75 cents. I Spy Fantasy, because it's American, and apparently at some point it costs $5. Cool. But then at a thrift store, I picked up a single PC title here as well, a big box one, like a Danish children's game here, CD Junior of Help I'm a Fish, which is actually a Danish movie, if you didn't know. But yeah, that's a game, 75 cents. After that, it was a junkyard store kind of thing, where I picked up a little stack of Xbox titles here. BMX XXX. Apparently there's naked boobs and stuff in this. Dave Mirra, Freestyle BMX 2, Driver 3, Forza Motorsport, The Sims, and Urban Freestyle Soccer. And for these 6 games here, I paid a little bit under $7.50. So pretty decent deal for sure. The same collector had just bought some other Xbox titles there. You know, the same collector that bought that Game Boy Color in front of my eyes a few days earlier. The same collector at the same place. But the games he bought I already had, so it's cool. He's a good guy though. Then at a thrift store, I picked up a single PC title here. A big box game. I don't know, some kind of edutainment here. First Class with the shoe people. So I guess it's time for me to go back to the First Class. Things were more simple back then, you know? That was really cool to find though. Apparently it's like a UK game. I don't know. It's interesting. Then at another thrift store, they didn't have anything, but I asked, and they were like, well, go out back and look. So I actually went through all of their stuff out back. And I actually ended up finding a stack of games. A single PS1 title here, platinum copy of Formula 1, no manual sadly. A single PSP title, Shrek the Third. A PS4 title, FIFA 15. Some Wii titles, Shaun White Snowboarding, Road Trip, Summer Athletics 2009, World Sports Party. And then some PS2 titles, Tak or Tak, whatever. And The Power of Juju, you know. Midnight Club 3, Dub Edition Remix. And the best one here, without a doubt, the Hitman Triple Hit Pack with Hitman 2, Contracts and Blood Money in one. Very cool to find that. But here comes the thing. What did I pay for these? 9 games here. Take a guess. If you will, pause the video, go down in the comments and just venture a guess before continuing on. For these 9 games, I paid $1.50 total. Total! That's a very good stack of games for $1.50. No doubt. Yeah, they had a lot more out back, but I just took the stuff that I could actually use, you know. Then at the very last thrift store of that day, picked up 3 titles here, 2 PS2 titles. This one just because I think it's funny, you know. Pop Idol with Simon Cowell like plastered right there on the cover. That's so funny. And The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. And these were $1.50 each. And then I picked up a single DS title. It was kind of expensive, but I kind of wanted it. WarioWare, Do It Yourself. And that was a little bit over $4. I don't know. They were persistent that DS titles were worth a lot of money. And most of them were like kids games that were probably not worth more than $1, you know. And they wanted like $4.50 on all of them. So, you know, yeah. I picked up WarioWare. That was the only one that seemed worth it to me. Then on the 27th, I received a letter with 2 Game Boy titles inside. And the first one is Bomb Jack. Kinda uncommon. The same thing with this one, probably more sought after than uncommon though. Probotector, and for you Americans, Contra. Yes, and because these are worth a little bit more, I also paid a little bit more for them. Paid about $5 a piece. But when am I actually going to find them out in the wild, you know? Especially since finding Game Boy stuff is kind of rare now, where at one point I found stuff all the time, like constantly. So, 2 cool Game Boy titles, right? But then later on that day, some of my family members was at a big ass like flea market store, kind of like the one that I told you about before that's closer to me. And they just kept calling me about, there's some games here, but not a lot that sounded interesting. But there were some big box PC games, and if I had known about the condition of this one, I probably wouldn't have said yes to them picking it up for me, but whatever. It's one of these Smart Kids games, but the box is very weird. As you can see, it like bending out on the sides. I don't know. This is volume 13, and it's some Jurassic game about the Jurassic. It's Danish, you know. But it's a big box PC game, and it doesn't have a manual. It's pretty much just a loose disc in here. But it was about $1, so that's cool. But the other big box game here is awesome, and it's sealed. It's the Stratospace expansion for StarCraft. You know, one of those unofficial expansions. Very cool. And this was just about 75 cents. That's a no-brainer, right? That's excellent. Nice and sealed. Lovely. And the last game they brought home for me that I just had to have, because I've never seen any of these in the wild. Advance Wars 2 on the Game Boy Advance. Black Hole Rising. You know, that's cool. But it was also about $3. But still, good deal for this. Then on the 29th, it was flea market time once again. And the first place I didn't really pick up anything. Picked up a Spyro McDonald's figure from 2013. Yeah, I don't know. And the last thing I did there was just look through all their regular DVDs. And I actually found a single GameCube game. The Incredibles. Yeah, I don't know. I never find GameCube games. So even though it's just The Incredibles, I had to pick it up. And I actually didn't pay anything for these because they were part of like bundles with family members there, so that's cool, I guess. But after that flea market, I went to make an awesome deal. Yeah, I'm actually gonna save these for last because these are probably the most special ones. But it was a post on Facebook with some PS2 titles and some PS1 titles, and they were pretty much all good titles, you know. So I had to go take a look at them. So let's just go through the PS2 titles first. Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance, Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance 2. No manual, sadly. This one is super cool. Breath of Fire, Dragon Quarter, some more from my Capcom collection. German copy of Dark Chronicle, but it's English in game, so it's cool. Dark Cloud, as you can see already now, that's some quality, high value titles. So, you know, Dark Watch, which was actually published by Capcom in the US, but in Europe it was published by Ubisoft. Dragon Quest, The Journey of the Cursed King, and this one, just because I didn't have it, Driven to Destruction, and I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this correctly, Ephemeral Fantasia, German copy, but English in-game. Final Fantasy X with the bonus DVD in there. German copy of Final Fantasy X-2, and this is German in-game, so that sucks. Final Fantasy XII, no manual in this, but some pamphlets. I don't know. God of War, this box version of King of Fighters, Maximum Impact, kinda cool, with a big ass manual in here too. Legaia 2, Dual Saga, and then a whatever title here. German copy of Medal of Honor Frontline, Mortal Kombat Deception, Onimusha 2, Onimusha 3, and really cool to add this to my collection. Silent Hill 4, The Room. As you know, previously I picked up 2, 3, and Origins, so I'm closer to a complete PS2 Silent Hill collection now. And the last PS2 title, Star Ocean, Till the End of Time. Really cool. As you can see, quality titles. But now, the PS1 titles. First up, a platinum copy of Resident Evil 2, which is actually going to go to another collector, a friend of mine, who actually tagged me in the post as a thanks. But then these. This is actually the best one, I'm just gonna put it down here. But Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, and Final Fantasy 9. This one doesn't have a manual though, and it's a German copy. But I also have a friend that doesn't mind the games being in German, so this will probably go to him. But the best one in here, without a doubt, Final Fantasy 6. It is a German copy, yes, but it's English in-game, so it's all good. And it has the Final Fantasy X demo. I always found it interesting that a PS1 game came with a PlayStation 2 demo. You know, that's kinda weird, but fucking awesome adding this to the collection. This is Final Fantasy 3 on the Super Nintendo, right? I believe. And what's very cool about having this is that Final Fantasy 3 was never released in Europe on the Super Nintendo. So I guess this was the first way to actually play this game in Europe. So that's That's lovely. And for all of those games I paid about $55. Super awesome deal. I could probably get that for this if I wanted to. So that's lovely. Fucking awesome adding all of this shit to my collection. So many good games. It's not even funny, you know. It's just lovely. One of the more awesome deals in recent history. Then after getting that deal, on the way home, I saw a garage sale sign or whatever. And I picked up a single thing there. A boxed Microsoft Sidewinder gamepad. It's kind of cool. Just the fact that it's boxed. And it's a pretty historical controller, so had to have that. And that cost me about $2. So pretty cool for sure. And then it's finally time for the last pickup of the month. On the 30th, it was time for another big haul flea market. And I picked up something pretty awesome there actually. But first off, I picked up a Spyro plushie. Look at that. I think it's kind of modeled after like classic Spyro more than, you know, Skylander Spyro. Ugh, that's pretty cool. I had to pick that up. The only plushies I ever really find are like Mario and Pokemon ones. So that was cool. That was $1.50. I also picked up a single Wii game from another vendor. Sealed Glassworks, Build, Trade, Destroy. I paid about $3 for that, but it's sealed, so it's cool. Then some random PS2 titles here. German copy of iToy Play, Danish copy of Finding Nemo, Platinum copy of Gran Turismo 4, Hello Kitty Roller Rescue, Rayman Raving Rabbits, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 07, and Tony Hawk's Underground Platinum copy. And you probably also peeked at this box right here, but I wouldn't have picked up these games if there weren't a reason for it, you know. And that was that they came with this kinky ass thing right here. A boxed pink PS2. That's so fucking awesome. And it's as complete as can be. Everything is in here. Both of the controllers, the memory card, the manuals, everything. Even the registration card is in here. That's such an awesome looking thing, you know. I already had a pink PS2, but just to add one in box, that's fucking awesome. And this plus the games you just saw, a little bit under $37. A little more than I would usually pay for a PS2, but boxed like this, so nice and kinky, I had to have it, you know. And they actually started off with a much higher price point, but I haggled them down, so that's all good. And now we're finally done with this long ass pickups video. I'm sorry for that, but I don't want to like split them up into parts either, so this is what you get. Future me is gonna hate me for all the editing here, but it's cool. So please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and please tell me down in the comments below what you picked up lately. As I've said many times, I really do want to know. And if you saw any video games in here that might make an interesting review video or whatever, please tell me down there in them comments as well. So that's it. See you guys whenever I make another video. Goodbye to you. Bye.